Kiefer, and I'm here at the Laredo Rifle Shooting Club here in Laredo, Texas. And I'm here to show you a product that I have developed for my recent time that I attended a professional club match for bench press shooting. This is the first time I've done a match at this level with this level of shooters, and I learned a lot. One with the techniques for shooting, but at the same time what they do to be able to shoot as good as they do. So one of the first things that I had to do when I was there is to set up wind flags. And wind flags, as long as I've been shooting, which is about 3 years now, I've never used wind flags. I never really understood them. I never had them. I only shot here locally with the local people here. I've never shot at that level, so I've never been trained, or I've never studied it. I've never practiced it. One of the hardest things that it was for me to do was to set those up. I mean, we were at a range over in New Braunfels, Texas, that had a little over 20 people with a whole shooting line full of flags over 200 yards. And here I was for the first time trying to set up these flags at certain distances and trying to work my way through this forest of wind flags. And every time I would set them up, they were crooked all over the place. I mean, they were to the left and to the right. Some of them were 20 feet off. As straight that I thought they were just never in the right place. So the first thing I did when I came back is seeing a couple of things that people were using. Something as simple as putting a rifle scope bolted to a piece of 2x4. I saw some people using. So I just decided to try to take that to a different level. So what I've created is this device, which is the same concept, but in a more commercial package. I'm calling it the Axis, on the account of trying to keep the targets completely on the XY axis in a straight line. It has adjustable feet for the front and the rear. It's got a built-in bubble level in the front to make sure it's level when you set it up. It's got a Picatinny rail on the top, so you can put whatever scope you want. It's weighted with 1.5 pounds of weight, so it doesn't move. That it's stable. And the unique feature, it has a green laser or a place to put your own laser here in the front. So all you do is you remove this side panel, and right now the space is made for a 20mm laser. But if you remove the side panel, it's going to come with some adapter rings, so you can adapt it all the way down to like a 12mm laser. So no matter what laser you want to put into it, you can just put the right rings on them and slide them into the same place and put the protective, the door back on it. It's got a little knurled knob here. So if you turn this, the idea is that you line up the button of your laser right where the knob is. And then when you turn on the laser, you should be able to see the laser, which you might be able to see in the camera that it's on right now. So, and when you turn it back and it's off. So literally what it's doing is just pressing the button for you. And that's all you have to do to turn it on. So this video, I put it out on Accurate Shooter, and a lot of people were commenting to me if I would be able to see this at 200 yards. So I came out here in Laredo, Texas, where you always have a lot of sunny days. So this is a very beautiful, sunny, no cloud day, type of, I think the best weather to be able to test this, to try to see how we can do this at 200 yards. I was not aware also, a lot of people were talking about the safety with the laser and things like that. And honestly, when I built it and had the idea of the laser, I was unaware of the safety concerns about the laser. So, I mean, the idea for me is the idea is to put this for sale for anybody that wants it. You can get it with or without the laser. If you can find yourself a laser that is more safe, that you would feel comfortable with, the idea is that it's designed to fit any laser. Or like what I'm going to do, I'm going to set up right now. There's nobody out here at the range right now, or go early before the match starts and try to get them set up there. I had some future ideas of building my own laser within here, so that's possibly be something coming up, which I did find a safe laser, green, that is just the laser component by itself with the wiring, and then all I have to do is build into the base the battery and the control unit with the remote control. So my idea is you would be able to walk out and you press a button and it would turn on the laser for wherever you're at, and when you get it lined up, you turn off the button, and that's going to be somewhere down the line. But right now it works with whatever laser pin you want to put on it. So right now what we're going to do here, I don't know if you can see, I have some flags set up out right now. And I'm going to try to see if I can get them all lined up on the target that I have there on the other end of the 200-yard range here. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. And move the camera over there so we can see how this works. So right now, I'm here at maybe around 20 yards away. This particular range, you're shooting from a high slope, so we're shooting down. So it's a lot of the first flags might be pretty high. So I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to get up that high with the stands I have, but you can see the idea of how it's supposed to work. So if you can see here, you can see on the cardboard, there's my laser. So it's at a pretty good height right there. So I have an idea more or less the height. So I'm going to go ahead and take my stand. I'm going to raise it up as high as I can. I'm going to go ahead and find the beam, and I'm going to try to probably need to get up a little bit taller still. This particular stand is not as tall as I would like it. And I'm just going to try to line up right there. You might not be able to see it in the camera, but I can right here on the stand. You can see right here at this exact same point, the laser is shining on this stand. So now that I can see the laser lined, I'm going to go ahead and drop the flag on this particular one. I'm gonna drop it down. You can see it right now. You should be able to see it, I think, on the red right there. I can drop it down, and right now it should be below the laser, about right here. So now we have the first flag set up. So let me go ahead and I'm gonna go ahead and continue down the line. Okay, we're back again. There's one thing I forgot to tell you that I'm using here, as I'm using a rangefinder. So after checking, that first flag that I set up was at 15 yards. Right now, the second one, after ranging it, is to be set up at 45 yards. This is the first time I've used it, so I'm going to be straight up and say there's one thing that I did in the beginning that I shouldn't have done, and that is I got the stand perfectly lined up with the laser, and when I tried to set up the second target, I couldn't find the laser. Well, I left the other stand blocking it. So once you find the laser, you just have to move it over about 1 inch to 1.5 inches so the path of the laser can be found again. And don't make the mistake that I had just did. But this is the first time I'm using it. The main reason I'm doing this is because a lot of people over in Accurate Shooter that was nice enough to give me their comments was concerned if it would actually reach the 200 yards at the laser. So here we are at 45 yards. And let me see here. I found it earlier. I had to go kind of high because, like I said, their range here is there it is right there. The range here is pretty much of a slope. So this wind flag is going to have to go pretty high. So let me go ahead and get this one set up. I'm not quite sure if my stand is going to be able to get that high. So the concept is going to be here, but it might not be perfect because the range here is really off. So I'm going to pretty much have the right angle. I'm going to just not have the correct height because I just can't get it that high. I didn't want to do it at our 100-yard range, which I knew wouldn't be a problem at all for y'all to see. The height perfectly, but the test here is we want it at 200. So more or less what I can see here, we should be, let me see, reaching it up right there. It's hitting the red part right there. So I'm gonna just come straight down and it should be lined up about right here. I can't get the height because of the stand limitations, but it is right on there. So here we are at 45 yards. And I can still see the laser on this bright sunny day. You can still see it. And right now I'm going to go ahead and take it out even a little bit further to maybe around 75 yards. So I'm going to go ahead and pause it here and take it out to 75 yards and make sure we can still see it. Okay, everyone, we're out here at 75 yards right now. Like I said, this range is at this crazy slope, so I'm at the disadvantage that I don't have wind stands that go that high. Now I can see why they make them the 10, 15, 20 feet, I guess, some of them. But I wanted to show you that at 75 yards, you can still see the sorry, the wind is getting the best of me. You can still see the green laser. I don't know if the camera's in shot, but right there at the very top of this cardboard, we can see the green laser, and the stand is about maybe 2 or 3 inches to the right of this laser. So I hope as we going down, it might get a little bit better, but this is completely downslope the whole way. So we'll see when we get to the next one. But the answer is it does reach. I just need a taller stand at our 200-yard range. So now we're going to go out another 30 yards. Okay, here I'm out at about 105 yards, 30 yards from the previous target. This one's not as high, so hopefully it'll get a little bit better. If you can see it in the camera, right there is the green laser. It's not as high as the other one. It's about maybe 8 or 10 inches lower than the other one was, but it's still pretty high. But either way, we're gonna go ahead and get another flag set up here. As high as we can get it. The most important thing we're looking for is the line. And I know that the height is important also, so I'm not ignoring the fact that having them the proper height is also important, but it's not a matter of the scope and the laser being the problem. It's just a matter of my limitations on the stands that I have. So here we are. So this one needs to come over a little bit this way. Also, there's some tall grass here, so I hope the stands stay up. They can't go all the way to the ground. As clean as I would like them. Here's the laser again. So move it over a little bit more to the left. Here we go. And let me see if I can start right here. About right. That's the closest I can get it without being able to touch the bar with it. So I'm going to go ahead and go out to another 30 yards and see how it looks from there. Okay, everyone, here we are. I'm at 135 yards. One of the things I wanted to comment on, the main thing I'm trying to propose as a product here is not as much the laser itself as the device that's making all of this happen. The base with the scope, with the laser mount, everything perfect and lined and in a really professional looking package with the adjustable feet and the bubble level and everything that it has. The laser itself, that's up to the user of which laser that they want to put on. This particular one, I mean, to be completely honest, it's the first time I ever bought a laser. I was looking for one that had the longest range. It says it has 1,000 meter range. And it does at night, and it does in the day. But just like because of the sunlight, the laser beam is starting to disperse and open up. But it still doesn't. As long as you find the center of that, I still think it'd be good. I won't know until I get back to the scope. But we're seeing it for the first time, yourself and myself. So I wanted to give you that's why it's kind of a crude video. I mean, this is me doing it for the first time. I developed it, I printed it, I went through prototypes. This is the first time I took it out to the range, and I'm making a video for y'all. So I already had set this one up, so you wouldn't have to see me fumble around with it. But if you look, you can, I don't know if you can see it, but right here, there's about a 4-inch green shadow that's right here. And if you put it up to the cardboard close, you can see that it's right center with my target. I can see it. I would think that at 200 yards, it might start to get a little bit harder to see. But so far, I only have one stand left, so we already set up 5 of the 6 stands. So as long as I can get to the next one, I have to see if I'm gonna have to do that one by eye, or will I be able to see it. So we go ahead and I'm gonna go ahead and put up that last stand and see where we're at. Okay guys, here we are at flag number 6. I already had set this one up, so you won't have to see me go through that. But just like at the other one, I don't know if the video is going to enhance it enough for you to see it, but right here, sorry about that, right here, right behind the stand, there's about a 4 or 5 inch green shadow of the laser, and the stand is right in the middle of that shadow. There's one thing that I was reading about, and I haven't had a chance to test it because it hasn't come in yet, but I did some research, and there's a special type of reflective tape. It comes in red. It's got a name for it, so when I get back and edit this video, I'm going to put it in there. But supposedly it will help enhance and focus in the beams during sunlight. I think they use it maybe in surveying, maybe. So the idea would be is to give this a try, the same distances, put it on a piece of harder material, so it's not cardboard that's flopping around. It probably wouldn't need as big of a piece with that reflective tape on it. And it's gonna, it supposedly will focus in that beam and not open up as much as it is. But right now we're on flag number 6, and we are right now at 165 yards. We are 35 yards from target, and I'm gonna go ahead and walk to the end, and just to see if I can even see it on the target. Okay, here we are, 200 yards. I'm gonna be completely honest. With this amount of sun that we have in here, right now, I do not see the laser at 200 yards. It did reach the 165, and I'm not sure from what distance from there I lost it. But honestly, the most important thing is we needed to set up the last flag. Now, if that last flag needed to be closer, like I said, I'm kind of new to this, then maybe I just need to look into another laser. But up to the 165 yard mark, I could still see it, and I would still think I could see it a little bit further if I went and go test it right now. Which I'm gonna go ahead and do to see at what point did I lose the laser. But like I said, this is a $9.99 laser from Amazon. I'm really new when it comes to lasers. I don't know much about them. I didn't know that there was possible dangers as far as the retina and everything. So like I said, I'm here to promote the actual product, the stand with the scope and the laser that you can put in yourself, and you can invest in what you think a laser would work. I know that if it had less sun today, it would probably do a lot better. I was out here early in the morning, like at 8, which I was supposed to, I would probably even be able to see it more. And if I have that tape, which I'm going to do a update on this video to see if that tape helps improve the focus of the beam at long distances, because what I read it does. It's just it hasn't come in yet. So let me just go ahead and pause. I'm going to go to the 165 target, and I'm going to see at what point, how many yards did I lose the laser completely. Okay, here we are. I'm at the 200 yard mark, but you can see the 165, the 130, and all the targets all the way up to the bench. We have them all the way up here and all the way to the 200 yard target here. So let me go ahead and see at what point that we lost the laser, and I'll get back to y'all. Okay, I'm back. What I wanted to confirm is that I thought that we lost the laser because it didn't reach. But the problem is that since we're coming at a down slope, about 10 or 12 yards before the target, the slope starts to go up on this berm. So the laser pretty much around right here is touching ground. So that's why it never reached the target, because of the angle slope that we have. It hit the berm. Now, was it hard to see? It was faint. I'm not gonna lie, it was faint, but I still could see it up to this point, up until the point that it touched the ground. So it's not even the capability of the laser itself. It was the berm that was blocking the line of sight. So it will reach very faintly. And I'm talking about we're testing in the most harsh conditions possible here in Laredo. Super sunny, no clouds at all anywhere. So this would probably be the worst conditions that I could test it in. And we were still able to set up a really nice setup of flags all the way down the lane. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna want to do an update on this video, trying a harder board like an 1/8 inch piece of masonite with some of that reflective tape, and see if that helps bring in the blurred shadow of green that I was getting, and see if it brings it into something more concentrated. It's just what I was told it should do. So, but up to now, I've definitely validated that the product works. I'm looking at the flags, they're super aligned. And I'm going to go ahead and see if I can get a shot looking through the scope so you can see how they're lined up with the crosshairs of the scope, with the idea that the flags are on towards the bottom of the target. Now, right now I have them in a straight line. I didn't set them up coming in at an angle. Right now they're just in a straight line, so I can show you how they work, but it's the same thing. If you want them at an angle, push the base off to the side, cant it a little bit at the degrees of angle you want, and follow the same setup that we just did, and you should be able to be off at the angle you need to keep the flags off to whatever eye you're using, and still keep the last flags in line with the target. So let me go ahead and get a shot through the scope and see if I can show you what it looked like. Okay everyone, I'm trying to get focused on the scope, but I hope you can see here that I am right here on the first pole, and you can see the first all the way to the last is perfectly in line, perfectly in line, like it's supposed to. Now the only thing I'm missing here is the alignment and height, I'm sorry, but I couldn't do that because of my lack of height on my targets. But you can see my target way out there, and you can see the last, I think I went too far with the zoom, but if you can see that the last flag is right on the center of the target. So the only thing that I needed here to finish this is just to have some poles that are a little bit taller if I wanted to have them at the same height. But the way they are right now, it's all the help I need to measure the wind and keep them as straight as a line. So of course I talked a lot through the video, and I was doing this for myself, and it took me a total of about 30 minutes. But if I wasn't talking and had everything in hand, I know I could probably knock this out in 15 minutes or less by myself with no problem.